So I haven't had the chance to have a film for a little while. Not that I haven't had the chance, I just haven't really been concentrating on it. I've been trying to do as much as I can. I've been occupied at other jobs and I've been trying to come back here and get this done in between. So, and I've missed out on a lot, and I should have really been filming, because yeah, I have missed out on a lot of things. But I think from the last time I filmed, maybe the stumps had been delivered. I'm not sure, I can't remember, it's been that long now. Well, when I say it's been that long, it's only been 3 weeks or something, but a lot has happened in that 3 weeks. Also a lot, like just in general, has happened. So I've got other work on, more work again, and I'm still trying to do this house. So I'll do a quick update to where we are. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what I've shown and what I haven't shown. And what I've talked about, but anyway, I'm just going to start from the top, from where I remember. So I got the house up to height, which was 400 mils, well 430 mil, because I wanted to be 30 mil above, just for my sake. As you can see, the house is up. Like, it just looks so much better. The house looks so much better from the road. Yeah, it just looks better all around. Anyway, we got that up. So pretty much what had to happen is I dug all those holes. After that, I got the concrete mix, mixed the concrete myself, obviously. Just Aggie mix, sand and Aggie. And I brought a mixer from Bunnings, which just did the job perfect. It was cheap. Buckets here, I had to load all the ones inside by bucket, by hand, walk all of those inside. Which I wish I had filmed. I just don't think I filmed it. And then obviously let them set for 3 days, 4 days, a week even, keeping them wet, keeping them moist. Obviously once that was done, get all those nice and level, then get the house to refined. I had it to within maybe, off the stumps, I had probably within about 5 mil, 5 mil. I say 5 is just, 5 is that extra bit that probably, it's just covering me. But I was definitely, you know, some spots were dead, you know, dead level. You can't even get that in a slab. So I was really, really proud of the job that I'd done with the stumps, but I knew that it was gonna be a lot of adjusting afterwards, after like the weight had gone on and settled down. That's another part of the 30 mil. That was because I wanted to make sure that if the house did sink at all, that it would always be over that nominal flood height. Fast forward, done the stumps, concreted those in, got it reasonably level before the yellow tongue went down, and then got to the foil board part. So how the process of doing it, I've literally actually just finished it. Literally the process of that is slicing, and just slicing it about 2 mil bigger. And I found that if you do the whole, like, it's a slow process. They've got to come up with something better than this, but anyway, they don't. It's about 2 mil more to maybe 1.5 to 2 mil. Just use a snap knife, just my old snap knife, just sharp blade, you know, every couple of sheets, and just slice through, marked it, slice through, drop those in. They come with, well, they don't come with, you have to buy, where are they? These saddles. So they're just the foil board saddles that just slide over the joist, and then they go down, and then the foil board obviously slips onto the saddle, which is real easy. It's like it's a no-brainer sort of. That's them there. It's a really easy installation. In saying that, it is time consuming. You don't have to be super intelligent to do it. But what I just found was just joining it up so there is no gaps. That's the whole purpose of it. If there is a gap, well, there's no use to insulation. Air gets in there, the airflow's there. It hasn't created that barrier. The insulation barrier is best when there's a solid, no air can pass through, an air gap, and then another solid. That's how it works. Fast forwarding from the installation of the foil board, the yellow tongue went down. Now that was an exciting time. I was pumped. I couldn't help myself. I haven't even put half the foil board in half the room, and I was laying down yellow tongue because I had to. It was just like, I wanted to see it down. I was happy with the progress, and I just thought, oh, we're getting somewhere. Anyway, then I'd got 2 sheets down, and then I had to go back to work. I'd got more work, had to go to work. So I went there for a week, come back. This is to the stage where I'm at now. So I want to explain where we are now, which is, I would say 80% of the yellow tongue is down and wiring's in. There's a couple of things that I did that I can explain. We'll start with the yellow tongue. So the rest of the yellow tongue is through here into the formal lounge room. Bedroom's almost done. Study's done. Well, no, it's not. Sorry. Linen cupboard's done. Study's half done. The bathroom, we are going to get the plumber. He's going to help me out on 18th or 17th or something. And we're going to rough in. So that's a bit on the back burner. So today's, I don't even know what today's date is. So that will actually be this though, compact concrete. So cement sheet, 19 mil, best to use in bathrooms for obvious reasons, waterproofing. So what we had to do for, wiring. So wiring, it's complete new rewire. All this old stuff, there was some really weird things going on with the power, and I just said, look, it's not worth it. Can we just have the whole thing rewired again? My Sparky that we're using was more than happy. He sort of agreed that for the little time saved and the little money saved, it's just not going to be the same job. Well, maybe not a little money saved, but anyway, so we ended up going with the whole rewire option. So the whole house is going to be completely rewired, which in my mind, I'm happy with, because it just gives you that sense of security. You know it's a good job, especially if you trust the trades that you're using and the tradies that you're using. You know the job. The job's going to be perfect, so you're better off going with that option. And personally, in my opinion, shut this door because it keeps creaking open. Whoa. So that's the wiring. So for the walls. So for the walls, we've got, there used to be a wall here, if you would remember. I'm not sure if we've got footage. I'm sure we've got footage in there somewhere. You can pick it up on old videos. So there used to be a wall here with a lintel through it, a lintel through here. So what I had to end up actually doing was, there was a lintel that passed through here and picked up on 2, well, they're not even jack studs, but they were just on 2 studs, checked in, blah, blah, blah. So there's actually a bearing point here, a ridge bearing point there, and a bearing point there. Like, it's the most loaded up wall in the house. And I was like, oh my God. Anyway, so what I had to do is pretty much put beams through. There was a plaster, a hanging beam there, a hanging beam here, a hanging beam maybe there as well or something. I don't know. Anyway, there was just beams everywhere, and I just thought, I need to neaten this up. I was never going to be happy with just filling in the wall. So what I've gone ahead and done is I've got up into the roof, and I spent most of the morning up there today. I tore all the crap out. All just nonsense timbers up there for no reason. Just obviously during the build or whatever it was. Tore all those out, and I'll get up and show you, but it's dark up there and it's boiling hot. But what I've gone and done is repropped all the roof, including the ridge, and I've repropped all the hanging beams so they're not bearing any weight anymore on this wall. So I could remove all that nonsense there. So that's what I'm about to do now, is build this wall and stand that back up, which will be the doorway to the bedroom. If I can achieve that before Lani gets home, which I don't know what the time is. 2 hours, yeah, probably. Also, the house had a reno in, what I could find on the cement sheeting was 2006 and 2004. Somewhere in between there, it had a reno, and they changed the floor, like joists and bearers, and it was just a schmozzle. I'm not saying who did it wrong or whatever, but it was just crap. And I was going to leave it that way, and I thought, no, I'm not, like I can't, I don't know, I couldn't come to terms with it. And I thought, no, that's it. For the sake of $1,800 of like LVLs, let's just do the job right. Let's get it done properly. It's gonna be a solid sound house, and I just want it to be perfect for us or whoever buys it or whatever its future is. You know, it's been here for 100 years. Why can't it be here for another 100 years? If I pour it all back together and neaten it back up. So anyway, long story short, this whole area here was old joists, like really, really old joists. They weren't at the right size, just weren't the right material. They were really odd. It was like they milled them themselves, but not like old school milling, like 2002 milling. So they were still KD, but what they were was 30 mil thick by like 92 high. And it was just like, what the hell? And they were packed up to suit these other joists here, which are 100 mil. So instead of milling them up to 100 mil, they've milled them down to 92 and packed up. Like it was bizarre. I know the floor was all out, like there was 30 mil dips in the floor and whatnot, but I was like, what the hell? So anyway, once we got the floor up and I had that all straight, I ended up taking those joists off, and I've gone ahead and replaced them with these joists here, which are just your LVL laminated veneer lumber. I think it's actually what it stands for. Yeah, so they were 140, so I had to rip them all down to 100, but I'd rather just have that ripped down to that. Like, I know everyone's gonna go, what a waste, but like the job's done correctly, then it's 100 mil. Just, you're better off ripping down than you are packing up, personally. Like, I think that's just common sense. Yeah, so that's another thing that we've done too. So all this floor is new. Also, another thing that I haven't explained. So the water table in this area is rather, how do you say? Well, the ground height is rather low to the water table. Well, the water table is not far under the surface of the grass. So the grass, can you see that out there? No, it's just blurry and sunny. So the grass is always green, well, majority of the year around here. With the water table being high, we get a lot of surface water in low points, which back in the day, to build this house, it would have made sense to build it where it was. The flattest piece of land on the property, which the property used to be 114 hectares. It was the straightest part, like close to the road. It makes sense. So what I've had to do is I've brought in some washed sand. Can you see? So what I've done is I've barrowed in 300 mil in some spots to 200 mil throughout the whole house. So just to help with that water table issue, there wasn't much water underneath the house. Like there wasn't like it wasn't coming through the floors, but there was just surface pockets like of water, and I just thought I need to get rid of them, and I want this to be a good build, and I want to do a good job. So that was another thing that I had to do, which was probably one of the biggest tasks. Besides the stumps, it was definitely hard. I'm really happy to where we've achieved and where we've progressed to and where we're at and what we've achieved in this little amount of time. People just said we were crazy gonna do it. Like, we probably had a couple doubters, but we've had doubters before and we've come through. So I'm just happy to have this house up level now. It's awesome. Like, you don't know until you actually do it. You can say you're proud and you think like, because I don't know, I'm just a typical guy. Like, it's just like, oh, it's got to be done, let's do it. Like, you know, you have a sense of pride in your work, but then it's just a everyday thing. But this is something that, like, every step of the way, like, I find something and I go to myself, no, I'm not leaving it like that. It can't be left like that. It needs to be done properly, or it at least needs to be done not to say up to today's standards, but it just needs to be neatened up and properly. So that's where we're at. I'm really happy. I'm really proud of me and Lani. Lani's been helping me out, you know, when she can. Yeah, that's about it. Also, I did this. Forgot about that. That shower recess, which is, yeah, just fall down to the back, which where the grate's gonna go. So I'll go into all that sort of stuff later on. And maybe, there's a ladder there, I've probably already walked underneath it, have I? I'm happy with how it's turning out. I'm happy how it's come along. 20 minutes of me talking now. I think that's enough.